We'll start with the Aventador SVJ. This car is 11 years old. So before that was the Murcielago, and when this came out back then in 2011, this car was absolutely state of the art.
For many car lovers, owning a Lamborghini feels like reaching the top of success. It represents speed, power, money, and dreams becoming real. People see videos online of exotic cars driving through mountains, racing across open roads, and attracting attention everywhere they go. From the outside, the lifestyle looks perfect. There is excitement, freedom, and a feeling that nothing can go wrong. But sometimes reality looks very different behind the cameras. Sometimes the dream car becomes a source of stress. Problems slowly appear. Costs grow larger. Excitement slowly changes into pressure. That is where this story begins. For years, Mark McCann built his image around amazing cars and exciting automotive content. Supercars became part of his identity. His audience connected with that passion because it felt real. People watched because they enjoyed seeing someone truly love cars instead of simply showing expensive machines for attention. Among those cars, one machine stood above the rest. The Lamborghini Aventador SV became more than transportation. It became part of the story. It became something viewers connected with immediately. The aggressive design, powerful V12 engine, and extreme appearance created excitement every time it appeared on screen. The Lamborghini represented achievement. It represented years of work paying off. But over time, the same machine that helped create unforgettable moments slowly began creating unexpected problems. Those problems did not arrive suddenly. There was no single disaster that changed everything overnight. Instead, small issues slowly started building pressure. Small frustrations slowly became larger frustrations. Maintenance visits started taking longer. Costs slowly increased. Time disappeared. Energy disappeared. Stress slowly entered an ownership experience that originally felt exciting. For people watching online, it became clear something was changing. The excitement remained, but something heavier started appearing underneath it. Car ownership at this level works differently than most people imagine. Many viewers think buying an expensive car solves everything. They believe once someone reaches that level, the hard part ends. But exotic ownership introduces completely different challenges. High-performance machines require high-performance maintenance. Complex engineering creates expensive repairs. Specialized parts create delays. Dealer relationships become important. Small issues quickly become major expenses. The Lamborghini Aventador SV was never designed to operate like a normal daily vehicle. It exists near the limits of automotive engineering. That creates extraordinary driving experiences. It also creates extraordinary ownership challenges. People see speed and beauty. Owners experience logistics, planning, service appointments, and unexpected complications. For content creators, those challenges become even larger. A YouTube creator does not simply own a vehicle. The vehicle becomes part of business operations. Videos depend on reliability. Content schedules depend on availability. Audience expectations depend on consistency. When the car works properly, everything feels smooth. When problems appear, business pressure starts growing quickly. Suddenly, the machine is no longer simply transportation. It becomes responsibility. It becomes financial pressure. It becomes stress hiding behind success. For Mark McCann, the Lamborghini represented years of passion and effort. Walking away from that dream would never become an easy decision. But dreams become complicated when reality arrives. Sometimes a machine people love most becomes a machine that tests them most. That truth slowly began appearing inside the story. And what happened next showed something many automotive channels rarely discuss honestly. The dream remains beautiful. Living with a dream becomes something very different. The Lamborghini Aventador SV was not an ordinary performance car. Even inside Lamborghini's own lineup, it stood at a different level. Lamborghini created the SV, short for Super Veloce, to push the Aventador platform further toward perfection. More aggressive styling, reduced weight, improved aerodynamics, and enormous V12 performance transformed it into something that felt closer to a race machine than an everyday road vehicle. For automotive enthusiasts around the world, the Aventador SV represented a dream few people could reach. It was not simply expensive. It carried exclusivity. Limited production numbers created demand. Long waiting periods increased desire. Ownership meant entering a small group of people who had access to something special. That exclusivity helped create its legendary reputation. Every appearance created attention. Every startup sequence created excitement. Every acceleration moment reminded people why Lamborghini built its name around emotion rather than practicality. Cars like the Aventador SV are not purchased with pure logic. They are purchased because people feel something powerful when they see them. The sound of a naturally aspirated V12 engine creates emotion that specifications alone cannot explain. The sharp design creates drama even when standing still. The experience feels larger than transportation. That emotional connection explains why owners develop deep attachments to these machines. It also explains why ownership problems become emotionally difficult. When people struggle with ordinary vehicles, frustration stays practical. When people struggle with dream vehicles, frustration becomes personal. That difference matters. For creators building content around cars, emotional connection becomes even stronger because vehicles become part of identity. Viewers associate creators with specific cars. Audiences remember moments connected to machines. Over time, viewers stop seeing the car as an object. The car becomes part of the personality they follow online. That connection creates value beyond ownership itself. Every drive becomes content. Every modification becomes a story. Every road trip creates memories audiences return to repeatedly. Successful automotive creators understand something important. Cars do not simply generate views because they are expensive. Cars generate views because viewers connect emotionally with experiences surrounding them. Excitement creates engagement. Adventure creates loyalty. Consistency creates audience trust. The Aventador SV delivered all three. For years, machines like these became powerful tools inside automotive YouTube. Supercars helped channels grow faster. Audiences loved experiencing dream lifestyles through creators they trusted. The formula worked. Buy exciting vehicles. Build adventures around them. Share experiences honestly. Grow community. Build business. For a long period, everything moved exactly as expected. Automotive creators expanded rapidly during years when online audiences strongly connected with exotic car content. Supercars represented aspiration. People watched because they imagined themselves experiencing similar success one day. Lamborghini ownership represented achievement. It represented hard work, creating extraordinary rewards. But social media only shows selective moments. Cameras capture excitement easier than stress. Viewers see mountain roads. They see launch control acceleration. They see luxury events. They see beautiful cinematic footage. They rarely see service paperwork. They rarely see scheduling problems. They rarely see expensive maintenance decisions happening quietly behind cameras. Those parts remain invisible most of the time. Exotic ownership carries responsibilities many people underestimate badly. High-performance machines operate differently than ordinary vehicles. Specialized engineering requires specialized support systems. Dealership availability becomes important. Repair expertise becomes critical. Logistics matter more than owners expect initially. A person owning an ordinary vehicle can often solve problems quickly. Exotic ownership creates additional layers. Parts availability matters. Specialized technicians matter. Transportation logistics matter. Waiting periods become longer. Costs become larger. Complexity increases dramatically. None of those realities remove excitement completely. Owners still love the driving experience. They still enjoy the emotional connection. But ownership starts requiring patience beyond what most people initially imagine. For content creators depending on cars professionally, delays become even more expensive because unavailable cars affect production schedules. Videos require planning. Audiences expect consistency. Business operations depend on equipment working properly. A content creator losing vehicle availability loses opportunities beyond transportation itself. They lose content potential. They lose production flexibility. They lose creative momentum. Those losses slowly build pressure. Small ownership problems become business problems. Business problems create emotional strain. Emotional strain changes excitement. Slowly, the ownership experience transforms. That transformation often happens gradually enough owners barely notice it happening. At first, Small frustrations feel temporary. Service appointments feel manageable. Unexpected costs feel acceptable. Owners convince themselves everything remains normal. Then patterns start appearing. Service visits become more frequent. Downtime becomes longer. Frustration becomes harder to ignore. The machine that once created freedom slowly starts creating limitations. For dream car owners, that moment feels especially difficult because dreams are supposed to deliver happiness. Nobody buys a Lamborghini expecting stress to become part of daily ownership. Yet reality sometimes creates experiences people never expected. And for some owners, those experiences become far more demanding than they imagined before signing paperwork. At the beginning, ownership problems rarely look dangerous. They usually appear small. A warning light appears unexpectedly. A strange sound creates concern. A dealership visit gets scheduled. Owners assume everything will return to normal quickly. That expectation works for many ordinary vehicles. High-performance exotic cars operate differently. Small issues can become major service events. Simple diagnostics sometimes become complicated investigations. Repair timelines become longer than expected. Costs increase faster than owners imagine. For someone owning a Lamborghini Aventador SV, even routine maintenance enters a completely different financial category compared to normal automotive ownership. Oil services cost more. Specialized inspections cost more. Parts cost more. Labor costs increase significantly because trained technicians with exotic vehicle expertise remain limited. Owners quickly discover they are no longer operating inside ordinary vehicle ownership rules. Everything becomes more specialized. Everything becomes more expensive. Everything requires more patience. For creators building automotive content businesses, that reality creates pressure beyond repair invoices. A car unavailable for weeks does not simply remain parked. It stops producing opportunities. Automotive YouTube operates around experiences. Road trips create videos. Modifications create videos. Events create videos. Unexpected moments create videos. When the vehicle disappears into service departments repeatedly, content planning becomes difficult. Schedules change. Production flexibility disappears. Momentum slows down. Viewers might not immediately notice the effect, but creators absolutely notice it. Online audiences expect consistency. Algorithms reward consistency. Business growth often depends heavily on consistency. Disruptions create challenges larger than people outside content creation realize. Every unavailable day carries hidden costs beyond repair expenses. Opportunity disappears quietly. Future ideas disappear. Planned projects disappear. For creators associated strongly with specific vehicles, the problem becomes even larger because audiences connect personality with machine. When viewers repeatedly expect one vehicle but stop seeing it appear regularly, they notice. Questions start appearing. Comments increase. Curiosity grows. Audiences become aware something changed even before creators fully explain situations publicly. That shift creates another layer of pressure because creators suddenly balance private frustration against public expectations. They continue filming while managing unexpected problems privately. That process becomes exhausting over time. Lamborghini ownership communities have discussed these realities for years. Performance machines deliver extraordinary experiences, but often require extraordinary commitment. Exotic ownership rewards patience heavily. Owners entering the experience expecting ordinary reliability sometimes discover difficult lessons unexpectedly. The Aventador platform especially developed a reputation over years for complexity. Powerful engineering creates incredible driving experiences. Powerful engineering also creates complicated service realities. Components operate under enormous performance demands. Precision matters significantly. Small problems sometimes require major work because exotic systems connect deeply together. Specialized knowledge becomes essential. Parts availability influences repair timelines heavily. Geographic location matters too. Owners living near multiple luxury dealerships often experience different service realities compared to owners located further away from specialized support networks. Transportation logistics create additional complications. Scheduling becomes harder. Waiting periods become longer. Simple solutions become complicated processes. Those realities slowly change ownership psychology. Excitement remains present, but ownership becomes work too. Dream ownership starts feeling heavier. Some owners accept those realities comfortably. Others struggle adjusting expectations. Neither reaction makes someone weak. Different ownership experiences create different emotional responses. The problem becomes especially difficult when vehicles represent more than transportation. For many enthusiasts, dream cars symbolize goals achieved through years of effort. They symbolize progress. They symbolize success. Emotional connection grows deeper than financial investment alone. That emotional layer makes ownership problems harder psychologically because frustration starts affecting something personally meaningful. People do not simply feel disappointed with repair bills. They feel disappointed watching something important become complicated unexpectedly. The excitement that originally motivated ownership begins competing against stress. Owners start calculating costs differently. They start evaluating time differently. Priorities shift gradually. Small frustrations accumulate quietly until one day owners realize ownership feels different compared to earlier excitement. That moment becomes difficult because passion still exists. Love for the machine remains real, but reality enters the picture more aggressively. Enthusiasts sometimes describe that transition as losing part of the fantasy. The car remains beautiful. The driving experience remains incredible, but ownership becomes impossible to view exactly the same way again. Automotive creators documenting experiences publicly experience even greater pressure because audiences witness change happening slowly over time. Excitement shifts, energy changes, tone evolves